You can go with the king of them all with the GoPro brand, or you can go with a generic brand such as this, the SJ Cam. But which one should you get? Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. Today we're going to be talking about action cameras, specifically generic off-branded action cameras versus the GoPro series of camera. I do have experience with those as well as some of the other ones, even like the Insta series, the Insta 360 and so on. But today specifically I want to talk about the GoPro versus the generic action cameras. Now when I'm talking about generic action cameras, this guy here is the SJ Cam 10 Plus action camera, and this has been my go-to camera for a lot of years. In fact, when I first launched this YouTube channel, this is the very camera that I used to launch this channel. And the reason for that was this camera offered something that the GoPro did not. At the time that I bought this camera, we were on the Hero 3 generation. And you may recall, if you were looking at a GoPro during the Hero 3 generation, there was no back screen on those cameras. They just had an LCD screen that told you how much time was remaining, how much battery life was left, and whatever. So you were stuck trying to point this around and hope you captured something. But in the case of the SJ Cam, it had a rear screen on it, and it came with an acrylic diving case, if you will. So I used this to take videos of motorcycling and boating and surfing and whatever else, something like that. It worked great. In fact, when I went to Mexico, I took this camera with me. I did take my GoPro Hero 3, but I used this camera for the entire trip because of that screen. Now, the days of a GoPro not having a screen on it are long gone, but these generic cameras still remain. And what we want to know today is it worth it? Before we get too far into this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below. If you've seen some of our content already and have not subscribed, we want you to join our community. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get back to the video. To get a generic camera, because after all, the price is quite cheap compared to the GoPro line of cameras. So the first thing I notice when I scroll through Amazon is I see a lot of different cameras. And so they offer features such as 4K, 30 frames per second, Ultra HD, underwater, good to 98 feet, 100 feet, 30 meters. A lot of them come with a full accessory bundle that has all kinds of clips and straps and everything that you could ever want. Some of them have extra batteries. They have screens on the back, they have screens on the front. It would appear as though you may have stumbled across the budget GoPro that you're hoping that you're buying. And when you look at all these features, you would maybe wonder if there really is just a GoPro Premium. Like, after all, these look just like the GoPro. So do they function like the GoPro? And that's where my experience with the cameras such as this SJ Cam come into play. So a quick correction, this is the SJ Cam M10 camera. It's the M10 Cube, so it's more of like a square than anything. But some of the features of this camera are 1080p video recording, 170-degree field of view, so the lens can see a full 170 degrees. It also shoots up to 12 megapixel photos and can record up to 100 feet deep when using the dive case that comes with it. Now, this one did come with the accessories, just like I talked about, that had like belt clips and helmet clips and all kinds of stuff. And the accessory clip alone seemed like you were buying the accessories and getting a free camera. Now, as I said, this camera was my go-to camera. I used it in Mexico, I used it on vacation, I used it to launch this YouTube career, and it worked really, really well. A while ago though, and since then, the GoPro technology has really accelerated, and the knockoff cameras have not accelerated quite so much. So when we look at these knockoff cameras, the first thing you're going to notice is that they say 4K recording. Now, it's important to note that they do say 4K, but they don't actually have a sensor that can record 4K. So what they do is record in 1080p and then upscale it to 4K. Even though it says it's a 4K camera and the picture you get will be 4K resolution, it's an upscaled resolution, and it doesn't use AI to fill in the blanks like DLSS or anything like that. So it's just got more noise introduced into it. So really, you've got a 1080p action camera. And that's where the differences start to show. So it should be noted, this video is actually recorded on a GoPro Hero 8, which supports 4K resolution, and right now I am filming in 4K. That allows me to zoom in and crop out and do all kinds of things like you've seen through this video and still maintain a pretty good picture quality. If I were to use something like this and record in 4K and then do those same cropped in shots, you would actually lose a noticeable amount of picture quality from your image, and that's because it's not a true 4K picture. You're gonna lose a lot of the image stabilization. These GoPros, so this one here is also a GoPro Hero 8 Black, and this guy here is a GoPro Max. It's the 360 camera. I use both of these when I'm doing filming out on location. So I have this guy as my primary camera, I have this guy as my backup camera catching B-roll or alternate shots. The one that I'm using to record this video, it stays in the studio set up specifically for studio recordings just like this. Now some of you may ask, why do you have a GoPro Hero 8 when the GoPro Hero 12 is out already? Or the GoPro Hero 13 is out already? Well, the answer is quite simple. I did upgrade to a Hero 9 when it came out. I upgraded to a Hero 10 when it came out. I even upgraded to a Hero 11 when it came out, and I discovered a problem. All of those cameras shoot in 4K as well, but they all suffer from overheating. So I was out on location recording a set just like this, and the camera would shut down after about 5 minutes of recording and it needed to cool off. So I needed at least 2 cameras so that I could record till it shut off, have it sit cooling off while I record with the second camera, and then when that one overheated, then I could go get the other one, which was hopefully cool enough to keep recording. It became quite an annoyance, and then afterwards, keeping track of which file was which and in which order was a huge problem. I went back to my Hero 8, which has been rock steady the entire time. I can record for over an hour, and as long as the memory card has space, it still keeps recording. So if you're looking for something that is good for YouTube, the Hero 8 is definitely my recommendation for someone to get in on a budget. The other thing is you can go and get one of these off-branded action cameras for under $100. You can go and get a GoPro Hero 8 for a couple $100. So in Canada, I can get a Hero 8 for about $200 now, just with the base package. You're not gonna get any accessories with it, but if you keep an eye out, you can get for about $150. So that's starting to become a lot more worth it. So to answer the question originally asked in this video, is an off-branded Amazon camera a good deal? The short answer is not really. It's really not. The only advantage is if it comes with a lot of accessories that you might use, most of those can actually be used with your GoPro anyway. So from an accessory perspective, it's worthwhile to buy it so that you have the accessories for your GoPro, because GoPro accessories are expensive. I don't find them any better. Everything that's holding this on is not a GoPro accessory. It's a expandable stick, which is really nice for doing like point of view shots, and that's great. I will put a link in the description to this exact one. I've used it for a couple years now and it's still working fantastic. Also the car mounts, you can get the car mounts that suction on really, really well. And these hold on. I took this one, this exact one actually came out drifting with us this last winter. It stayed on the side of the car no matter what we did. It was always stuck on there. It worked beautifully. So you don't need the GoPro branded accessories. However, in my opinion, there is no replacement for a good high quality camera. And if you're serious about whatever it is you're filming, whatever is worth filming, it's worth filming with a good quality camera. And I have not seen anything better than the GoPro. Small asterisks, some of you are gonna say the Insta360s are pretty good cameras, and I agree, they are pretty good cameras. They're still quite expensive, and I found the user interface was still not quite as good as the GoPro. Maybe it's just because I'm used to the GoPro, but I find the GoPro just seems to work a lot better. I am curiously keeping an eye on the Insta360 brands because I may end up picking one of those in the future, but for now, the GoPro is the way to go. Pick up a used one. If you can't afford a brand new one, then just pick up a used one. As long as you get a Hero 5 or 6, you're okay even with those if you're doing still shots like this. If you're doing action shots, you definitely want a Hero 7 at the minimum because it has image stabilization. The Hero 8 has some super amazing image stabilization. You will not need a gimbal or anything else if you have that. And that is what my entire studio is set up using. And I'm glad you stayed this long into the video. You're also gonna ask me, what about the Costco camera? What about that one? So I did a video on the Costco camera a couple of years ago, and I said, you know, for the $30 that they put it on clearance for, it's not a bad camera. But since then, I played with it and I actually got really disappointed in it because the image quality was consistently bad. Low light was bad, sunlight was bad. It was clearly low quality footage, and the GoPro just did so much better. So I ended up not using that camera anymore after that, and I've been using the GoPro ever since. And I strongly encourage you, if you didn't hear anything else in this video, if you're looking for a budget camera that you can do something like this, set up your YouTube channel, do some auto vlogging or anything like that, the GoPro is where it's at. A lot of you already knew that, but you were enticed by these cheap budget Amazon cameras thinking that maybe they would be okay. They're not okay. Don't waste your money on them. They're not what you're looking for. Just stick with the GoPros. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.